This is Scott Jordan. You're watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square. It's TV Tuesday Live. We're tasting a blind tasting. I do not know what these varietals are. Two are from Napa, two are from Sonoma, and two are an 05, one from Napa, one from Sonoma, and then we've got an 08 and an 06. I do not know the order. The staff has laid these out for me. It's something we're now doing in the tasting room, so you can come in the tasting room and do this live blind tasting. It's kind of fun, and there's certain things I'm going to be looking for in these wines to maybe identify the 05, because they got two 05s, so I want to kind of narrow the field down. Before we took the break, there was a question. So, Kevin, fire off the first question.
So Dan from Iowa said, Scott, how many years of experience tasting did it take you to get them right on wine? About how long have you been tasting wine that you were able to?
So the question is from Dan from Iowa. Dan, good to hear from you. How long did it take me? How many years of experience to be able to get the blind tasting? Well, I tell you what, I don't always get the blind tasting. It's really hard. But what I've learned over the years is I've learned to kind of back into the answer. And to do that, you have to eliminate certain things. I've judged locally here for the small lots, big wine group, and what we do there is it's a competition between Sonoma and Napa, and one of the things they have us do as a judge is actually try to pick out the appellation and the barrel program, especially in Chardonnay. So there, you really got to back into the answer. You got to eliminate the ones if you're trying to pick out the barrel. So you're trying to determine whether it was aged in stainless steel or in a barrel. You immediately go after the stainless steel. If you're doing Chardonnay, for example, you go right after the stainless steel because it's going to be much lighter in color. It's not going to have that golden rich color to it. That's what you get from the barrel. So you can kind of back in that way, and then sometimes you just get lucky and you guess it right. But I may do this and get nothing. In fact, I have a broadcast that I did here blind, and I didn't get but one wine out of the four. I was just really bad, and I said I'm the one who laid it out and everything. I should have got it, but anyway. So sometimes you just get lucky. You just kind of break it down. Tonight I'm trying to break it down and find the 05s. That'll help me get to the other two. Okay. Not sure if I'm going to be successful, but All right. Now, I've got a little taste of each one. The other clue that I'm going to look for, and now I'm giving away really good clues, but maybe the other people in the room that are doing the blind tasting, they can't hear me. Petite Syrah, unlike any of these other varietals, will leave an inky stain on the glass. When you swirl it in the glass, it still shows a bit of that inkiness. This is the only wine of these four that's doing that. The other ones, you're not going to maybe see it on the video, but when I swirl this one, it doesn't stick to the glass at all. It just drops like it normally does. So that one gives me the indication that it might be the Petite Syrah. See, I didn't get much of it on that one, and I really didn't get, it didn't really hang in there, but it sure did on this one. So I always want to go with my first thought that comes to mind. And so I think for our purposes here, I'm going to call this, which in my tasting, number 2, is it's actually in order here. So the second one, that is one of the 05s. Now I got to find the other 05, and then I can find the Cab and Syrah, and then maybe I'll nail it. So I'm going to go back to looking at the hue. I'm looking for the brickiness that may be appearing in an older wine. And when I went through it the first time, I kind of felt that this one had a bit of a hue that was getting in that direction. Now, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't. Wow. Okay. All right. So let me taste this one again. Mm. That's a pretty big wine. Now, I know a secret on one of the wines that I will tell you about that might help me. So I think I'm going to use my own judgment on this one, and I'm going to call number 3 this one here, and we'll come back to this because there's a reason why I'm leaning toward this. And I think when you're looking for the Cabernet Sauvignon, you're always going to get cassis. That's a spice that you're always going to have in your cabs. You also might get a little bell pepper, a little bit in some of those. So I'm going to back into the answer here. Wow, I think they've got them just like that. Wow, they may have put it in the dead order that's on my sheet. That's interesting. I just backed into that. Wow. Let me try this. I'm then saying that this is the 08 Syrah. This is the 05 Petite Syrah. This is La Serena's Napa Valley 05, and then this is the cab from Bono. That's what I'm going with right now. That tastes younger, and that would lead me to believe that that's the 08. Okay? Now, let me throw a little question out for the audience to answer, and then I'm going to check in on my group that are over there doing the the blind tasting along with us. Now, the question is this: which of the following likely describes a wine made from Petite Syrah grapes? There are 4 choices: an elegant, smooth red with berry aromas is A. B, a light-colored, flowery red. C, a tropical, flinty white. D, a deep-colored, inky, tannic red. And I kind of gave a clue out earlier that'll answer this question. So think about that. Don't answer that right now. Let me have that other lavalier, Kevin. And Andy, you follow me. I'll go down here and find our guests down at the corner, and let's see how they're doing and see what they came up with on the tasting. I know the correct order. Okay, so we're live here. Everybody in the planet can hear you and see you. First of all, where are you from?
Healdsburg.
What'd you fly into the Santa Rosa airport or what?
Holy smokes, all right.
Well, how about you?
I'm from Bennett Valley.
Bennett Valley? So am I. I love that. So's my boys.
So we're locals.
You're locals.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean a thing, though.
No. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so you did the blind tasting, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let's go with you first. What did you think the correct order of these wines? And you one here or number one here?
Number one.
Okay.
So I thought number 1 was the Napa Valley Syrah. Number 2.
The La Serena?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Number 2, Napa Valley Cab.
Interesting.
Number 3, Napa Valley Petite Syrah. And that leaves number 4 as our Dry Creek Valley Syrah.
Wow, you did pretty good. You did pretty good. What about you?
So
Did you cheat on his?
No.
Okay.
The one we agree on is number 3. We both think that's the Petite Syrah, but I think number 1 is the Dry Creek Syrah. Number 2 is the Napa Valley Syrah. Number 4 is the Cab.
All right. Now, unless Ron had changed the order, Ron, did you change the order on those at all? From what I had them before? Not me, for them. They're exactly the way we've had it. Okay, all right. So I know because my order is different because I knew the order, so I didn't want to. It wasn't fair. So those guys they're trying to switch me up. All right. So the number one wine is, you were right, La Serena.
Wow.
Okay, that's number one, and this is where it gets a little tricky. Her wine can be a bit on the deceiving side. She ages that in brand new French oak for 18 months. It acts like a cab. So most of the people that have done this blind tasting showed that as the cab because they thought, oh man, it's got to be a cab.
Back and forth. So I had it for the cab.
Yeah.
I used it back because I for
Right. And if you know where that cab came from and where they get the fruit, and the fact that they put in a little Malbec, that made it a softer wine, and that was really deceiving for a lot of people. Number two is the Gan Petit Syrah. Now, like I was showing on the broadcast, what we want people to do in order to back into that, it's the only one that leaves an inky residue on the glass by itself. It's the only one that'll actually do that really deep. When you had more wine in the glass, it sticks on there much longer. So I always cheat and I go that. The other thing you're looking for is older wine, brickiness, right? So number three was your Cabernet Sauvignon, and number four was the James.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So, but you did get you picked a Napa, right? And you picked
the James.
and the James. You did good.
All right.
Not bad. Good job. All right. Well, all of America and the whole world knows. You did good. Thanks for playing. That's good. All right. So see that? They got pretty close. They picked one, and we talked about this. That one of the wines, the La Serena, is real deceptive, and the reason it's deceptive and it's difficult is she likes to age that Syrah like a cab. She aged it 18 months, brand new French oak. And that's the 05 La Serena Napa Valley Syrah. Okay, so we had a question before I went over and talked to those guys. Which of the following likely describes a wine made from Petit Syrah grapes? A, an elegant, smooth red with berry aromas. B, a light-colored, flowery red. C, a tropical, flinty white. And D, a deep-colored, inky, tannic red. We're going to answer that right after the break. This is Scott Jordan. We'll be right back.